without time at all.
Reminder, please turn all cell phones off or on silent before we commence. There will be no flash photography during the proceedings, as this will distract the contestants as they are performing under Toastmasters International strict speech contest rule. Participants, for all our contestants, this is generally
Welcome to the NIC Toastmasters Evaluation and Humorous Speech Contest for 2014. People rarely succeed unless they have fun in doing what they are doing. So I invite everyone, both Toastmasters and our guests, to have fun this evening. It takes a lot of work to prepare for a contest. We aim to provide a fair contest for all of our speakers, and all of our contest judges have been briefed and were confirmed to meet the requirements of this contest.
Speech and evaluation contest. We will be having two contests this afternoon. For both contests, I am pleased to report that all eligibility forms have been completed, and we have certified that all our contestants are in good standing and meet the requirements to be participating in this contest. For the humorous speech contest, the contest will require persons to deliver 5 to 7 minute speeches. They are allowed plus or minus 20 seconds in order to complete their speeches, outside of which they will be disqualified. For the evaluation contest, contestants will be required to deliver 2 to 3 minute speeches. Again, they will be permitted plus or minus 30 seconds in order to complete their delivery. Anything outside of this period, they shall be disqualified. In keeping with good practice, we will not be notifying you of who has been disqualified if, God forbid, someone did finish their speeches outside of the allotted time. The contest chair at the conclusion will simply indicate the number of persons who may have been disqualified under these conditions. All persons have been briefed. Again, we have confirmed the speaking area. It is the length of this table, starting at this end and ending at this end. Anyone who speaks outside of the speaking area during that period, they will not receive any credits towards this delivery. Our test speaker is present for the evaluation contest. We will be requiring that between each speech you provide a 1 minute of silence. This is to enable the judges to make the necessary scores. Please avoid leaving the room during the speeches as is a distraction. Please avoid any flash photography, that is too will be a distraction. And look forward to you enjoying the contest. If there are any queries or any complaints, please lodge them with me prior to the notification being given by the contest chair. And I'd like you to control to our contest chair and be the guest speaker on this evening. Toastmasters, take care.
If you woke up this morning thinking, I need a bit more humor in my life, well, today's your lucky day. We are now ready for the humorous speech contest. Prepare for each speech. I will announce the contestant's name, the title of the speech, and the contestant's name. No other introductions or comments will be made while introducing the contestants. All humorous speeches will be from 5 to 7 minutes. Contestants will speak for less than 4 minutes and 30 seconds, or more than 7 minutes and 30 seconds will be disqualified. Our timers have been briefed. At the conclusion of each speech, there will be 1 minute of silence. During this minute, the judges will mark their ballots, and contestants will set up or remove their props. Please honor this minute of silence. waiting for the judges to hold up their scores and fill out the ballot form. The judges will hold up their ballots when they're ready to be picked up. And the audience will remain seated during this time. After the ballots have been collected, we are ready then. The first contestant of the humorous speech contest, Jennifer Faisal.
With her long, tender legs, she crawls upon you, gently waltzes away, gently kisses you, and gets on her way. You continue along your routine while she continues on her flirtatious escapade. Yes, Toastmasters and guests, what you have got is chicken gunya. Today, as we walk the streets and we meet our friends and say, and ask, how are you? Oh, my joints hurt, my ankles hurt. I was down with chicken gunya. Have you got it yet? Oh my God, how could my friend be asking me how have I got it yet? Couldn't she be offering me something better? Couldn't she be giving me something more valuable? And yet I continue along my way and I meet yet another person. And what is the question? Have you got it yet? Oh, by then I get home and I'm upset. If you have nothing to offer me, then don't give me chicken gunya. I go to bed, I wake up next morning, I switch on to my favorite radio program, Jugbois. I barely heard what Jugbois said, except to the end of his program when he says, "Je sais l'ici, nous caillons about l'autre soleil, mais jusqu'à m'oublier, quoi d'alcool, vermine vat, vermine politicien, and vermine chikungunya." Oh, my favorite announcer. He struck a chord in me. Next time anybody asked, "Did you get it?" I will ask, "How do you get it?" Continue along my way, and following day comes, and of course I meet somebody else who tells me about the chicken gunya demise, and I go, "How did you get it? How do I get it?" And I'm crazy. I'm crazy all of a sudden. And then she says, "Don't take any offense. It is a female, you know. It is a female going around causing all this destruction. She has some long, slender legs. And she's not sure how to look, whether to look fat. She's not sure how to put her neck, if she should go this way or if she should keep this way. And worst of all, she's not even sure what color she should be, whether she should be black or whether she should be white. But guess what? She would suck on your protein. She would suck on the protein in your body. And this is what she needs to nurture her young ones." I knew how I would get it. And so, I began to arm myself. I first heard that one could get this mosquito swatter. I went down to Chinatown, and when I approached the sales lady, she said to me, "Ah, I think our slogan is catching on. We don't sell things cheap. We sell good things cheaper. All our sorters are gone. So I decided that I would go with the racket. Got home that evening and I was busy swiping away mosquitoes here and there. They kept away from me. But you know what? I sat and I thought, you know, nowadays people are having all kinds of pets. Pet lizards, pet snakes, pet frogs. Why don't I have a pet mosquito? You know what? I have pet dogs, and they will alert me when dogs are around the house. So maybe catching a pet mosquito, I might just be alerted when the Aedes aegypti mosquitoes are around. But as you would know, that wouldn't work. That wouldn't work. I would kill first. I went for fish. And I heard that, you know, if you use fish, you could get rid of mosquitoes. So I went around the house and I sprayed all the water cubicles. But what I did not know is that it is not the mosquitoes that it killed, but it was the algae or the mosquitoes before they hatched. So that didn't work. But then I found my new friend. And as you know, Ben. And boy, Ben feels so good. I put some Ben on and I pass it. I put some Ben hair and I pass it. And I go all over St. Lucia with my Ben. And as I sing around the house, Ben, the two of us will look no more. Oh my gosh, I got into trouble. But guess what? I was being protected from the dengue and the chikungunya mosquito. Carry Ben with you, folks. If you can't get Ben, maybe you can get Paul, or maybe you can get Harry. But I've got Ben, and I'm not sharing Ben. Don't ask me for Ben. He's all mine. But in the meantime, while you look for Harry or Jack, you know what you can do? Why don't we all make our surroundings much better? Why don't we ensure that we get rid of all the utensils, the cubicles and whatever it is that may attract the dengue mosquito? But in the meantime, I walk with this little stick. When anybody asks me, have you got chikungunya? I say, no, knock on wood.
For a humorous speech contest is Karen Kennedy. Be careful whom you trust. Be careful whom you trust. Karen Kennedy.
Whom you trust. Be careful whom you trust. Toastmasters and guests, contest chair, good afternoon. I have come to know a young couple who had sojourned from St. Vincent, come here to St. Lucia to seek a better living. How I came to know them, they were my neighbors, of course. And the wife was pregnant. So it became clear to me that they had no financial backings, so I played the role of the good neighbor. After the wife had given birth, I totally took over the home. I was sweeping, I was washing, I was cooking, I was cooing baby. Oh yes. But that didn't last too long, because after a couple of months, I moved out of the area into another community. One afternoon from work, I decided to take a little lime around the market side. When the husband came up to me, he said, "Karen, you see Lana?" I said, "No," because I had moved out from the area for a long time. He said, in his St. Vincent dialect, "You know, I want to tell you something, you know. Lana run away, you know, and she leave the baby with me." I said, "What? Why would she do such a thing?" After our little conversation, he said, "Donna Lana?" I said, "I cannot see from that distance." He said, "Yes, Donna Lana." He started crouching and he running like this. So I stood up. After a while, I saw a massive crowd, and he was in front, and he have his Lana, and he come in, and his words was, "Me go kill your girl." So the crowd chanted, "Let the woman go, let the woman go." When they came closer to me, I looked at her, and I saw the clothes on her back were identical to the ones in my closet. I thought to myself, how could that be? So while the confusion was going on, I stood there trying to figure that one out. The pants, the same pants I had in my closet, the slippers, how could it be so identical? Then he turned to her and said, "Where you get these clothes from?" She said, "Karen gave me." I was amazed. By this time, the crowd following him and he pulling her. Then I saw the bag she had. And I said, "That's strange. That looked like my bag." I stood there pondering. Then it hit me. Go after these people. I started running. And the crowd was so massive. And he was pulling her and pulling her. Eventually, they got into a bus. And I slipped in the bus behind them. So he said, "Where you going?" I said, "Obviously, I'm going by you." Then he said to me, "But Karen, when I asked if you see Lana, and you said no." I was dumbfounded. I could not speak. Because in my mind, I was wondering where she got the clothes from. So, by the time we got to their home, she jumped out the bus in a haste and she went for the door. He said, "Come here." I grabbed onto the bag because I said, "This bag looked like my bag." And I emptied out the contents of the bag. All the contents in the bag were similar to the ones I had at my home. And I said, "Lorna, how did you get my stuff?" She was a little petrified, as though she was possessed. She was like, he said, "Talk, you're not talking? Me coming back." And he went for a cutlass. I said, no. Just say where you get." She said, "I know where you live in, and I break into your house." I was like, "What?" Wow. I gathered my stuff And I said, after all I have done for you two people, this is my reward. Is this my reward? She said, no. I said, you have some more. No. He started threatening her. He's going to chop her. He's going to kill her. Where did she go? Why did she break into my home? At the end of which, I said, listen, I forgive you for what you have done. When I looked on the floor once again, I saw my picture. I said, what you was going to do with the picture? Tell somebody this is you? I had some coins saving in a little jar. She had all of them. I gracefully took all my stuff and I went out the house, never to see them again. Be careful whom you trust.
Apologize on behalf of Toastmasters Charles. Did not be here today. Starting with Toastmaster Faisal. Please step up here. Your favorite quote is, what the mind can perceive, can conceive. Can conceive. Could you elaborate on that?
I believe that the most powerful being is you. And whatever one can imagine and whatever one can put a framework to as relates to that imagination, one can pursue. In life, based on my own experience, I have had a lot of dreams, and dreams will always remain a dream unless as an individual you can make that dream a reality. And you live that dream every day. You see it before you. You make it happen. You have it even before it is physically accomplished. I believe and I live by that mantra. What the mind can perceive and what you truly believe you can conceive.
Being inspirational books. Tell us about an inspirational book you've read. What you wrote from that?
One inspirational book that I have read is that of Dianetics. And this book is of the mind. it speaks basically of the mind. What it tries to show you how the mind operates, why you do what you do, why you feel how you are feeling or how you have felt, and why your persona are hereditary and how you operate. This is what this book is all about. It's very inspirational. At the end of the book, it opens up your mind to a volume of thinking in a different perspective. It shows you that how the vibration and the energy that you receive on a daily basis, how it is woven into your blood cells and makes you the kind of person you want to be. That is one inspirational book that if you can get your hand on that, it will give you a different perspective of life. Thank you.
Toastmaster Allison Montesi. Let's have a few words with you. On your contestant profile, you left notable accomplishments. Surely you must have some notable accomplishments. Tell us about it.
I saw that question, and in confirming with our contestant, DM with the D, what the specifics were, he said, any and everything that you've accomplished. Toastmasters and guests, I'm a very active person, and I felt that basically one page would not be enough to cover all of my accomplishments. Therefore, I left that page blank. But I thought it would be more intriguing if you want to know what my accomplishments are, that at the end of our session, you'll stay an additional 2 minutes and chat with me along with everyone else in here. Thank you.
Toastmaster Joel O'Beast. What inspires me most is that weeping may endure all night, but joy comes in the morning. That was one.
Weeping can endure all night, but joy comes in the morning. That goes back to many experiences that I've had in my short lifetime, from studying locally, studying overseas, even searching for a job. That was one of the most difficult times in my life, securing a job after school. And there were many days and nights that I cried and prayed, but I cried. But then nothing lasts forever. So I may have cried for 6 months, I may have cried for a year. But one day I woke up and there were no more tears, but there was joy in the morning, and there was a time that I had to leave the house for a particular time to get to it. So that's encouragement to everybody, that we might be going through situations in our life that seem to have no end. But I can guarantee you that joy comes in a morning.
Toastmaster Plant. Let us have a chat with you. What inspires you the most? But further, I'll ask you, who inspires you the most?
Who inspires me the most? Good evening, Toastmasters and guests. Who inspires me the most? I have to say it's my mom. Surprising, most persons or guys might tell you their dad, because that seems to be the strongest person in their family. But it's my mom. Because overall, I have dedicated my entire life to my mom. She taught me every single thing that I have learned in this life. Well, some things I learned on my own. I dare not mention, but she taught me the way to live as a man. My dad was present in my life until 2007 when he passed. However, my mom stayed there along the way. And even up to a day like today, I still see that I live my life for her. Because really and truly, I would not be here if it wasn't for my mom. She cared me when I was younger, whilst my dad was in the garden, walking all over the place.
Let's get back to the contest. We have another competition this evening. This is the evaluation contest. At the beginning of this contest, the test speaker will provide a 5 to 7 minute speech. The objectives are not known to the contestants, the judges, the audience. I will now introduce the speaker. Lindell Senville, Childhood Lessons.
Thank you. Contest chair, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I stand before you today humble. At the end of this presentation, I'm hoping I'll seek a certain absolution, a certain purging, a certain cleansing, a certain redemption. My tale goes back many years. I was barely this high, maybe 8 years old, maybe 9. I was preparing for my confirmation class. As a good Catholic, my mother got us prepared with my 2 siblings on a Saturday. Shoot us out of the house. Walked to the church, sat on the pew, listened to the wise old priest talking about the liturgy, the word, the gospel, being a good person, being a good Christian. At the end of the process, the obligatory prayers, the trip to the confessional, and then we had an hour to kill. Invariably, we would dilly-dally. We would never take the straight route home. Oh no. This was a time, a Saturday afternoon, to do something different, to do something naughty, to do something mischievous. Typically, we would wander around the streets of castles, dodging behind cars, chasing each other, picking plants. Typically, though, we would simply cross the street and go into the Columbus Square, which is what it was called in those days. It's not the Derek Walker Square. I shall refer to it as the Columbus Square. We would climb the fence, we would chase after each other, we would play, we would scream, we would frolic. We would go to the fountain, put our feet in the water. We would do anything and everything. We were naughty little children. We were having a good time. But in those days, fellow Toastmasters and guests, there were lots of tourists traipsing through the city center, as well as into the square. So on this one occasion, an angel visited us. This angel came in the guise of a middle-aged tourist. She had this beautiful, radiant smile. She called upon us. Oh, you adorable little children. Took our pictures. This beaming smile radiated upon us. And then did something completely unexpected. She reached into her purse, gave us some coins, patted us on the head, and then showed us away. Wow. Wow. That was completely unexpected. We were rich. We had money. We counted the coins together and realized we had the princely sum of $2 US. Fantastic! But then, being the mischievous little children that we were, the thought processes began. We started to think. Why be passive? Why wait for fate itself to smile upon us and hand us some change? Oh no, we could do better than that. Waiting was for weaklings. Waiting was not our way. We would try our hand at getting some money without waiting for it. Yes, we resorted to the life of beggars. I am ashamed of it. I am not proud. But the plan was hatched. The very next Saturday we decided that's what we would do. So, Mother got us prepared, shut us out of the house, ran to church, listened to the wise old words, contemplating the word, listening to the priest. At the end of the ceremony and service, said our prayers, tripped to the confessional, then crossed the street into the square. We took turns. I would be the lead, yes. Somebody else would then take the lead. We mix it up, we jumble it up. We would sometimes land up like a little conveyor belt. We were successful. Beyond our wildest dreams. It was very good. It was too good. It was too good to last. One fateful day, while we were assuming the position, very successfully, I might add, we heard this authoritarian voice shout to us, "You children, what are you doing there? Stop it, don't do this. Get away, or I shall tell your parents." Ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters conference chair, before you could say ka-ching, we turned around and dashed. We did not want to invoke the ire of our parents. Oh no. From that story, I have 2 lessons I wish to share with you. The first lesson is, you just never can tell what motivates a young child. It might be a need to save oneself, to nourish one's soul, belief in the Almighty, or quite possibly, it might just be the jingling of loose coins in their pockets. Yes. The second lesson is that things always work out better. Things tend to work out better if you heed this important lesson. Always vary the route you take from home to work. Had we heeded that rule, we may have avoided standing in the same place at the same time and then being spotted. So heed my words, listen carefully, and just maybe there might be a lesson for you and your own children. I humbly hope that this has allowed me to cleanse myself of this dastardly deed I've carried deep inside for all these years. Like I said, I regret it, I'm not proud of it, but it is true. It is part of me. I have to carry it. I thank you.
Students will have 5 minutes to prepare an evaluation on that speech. We have 5 minutes. All of the preparation notes are to be collected from all but the first contestant at this time. the evaluation, Karen Kennedy.
Again, St. Bill. The speech you gave, I think it was a very good one, as it basically relates to the fantasies of children. And I guess we all can identify with that form of practice, as we have done something like that as children along the way. So I think it's something that every one of us can identify with at some point in our lives. And your voice was very moderate. I like the way you articulate well. You bring us, you make the story very live, and you help us to identify that from church there was this haste to go and stand by the road corner and do your form of begging, as you would say. It's a very good speech, I must say. It's very moderate. It's something that we see going on today. Children around. You can now know why they are doing these sorts of things. Some of them probably not out of hunger, but out of mischievousness. So I think it was a very good speech. I liked it, and I wish you the best of luck in the future.
Allison Mondays. Allison Mondays.
Toastmasters St. Phil, I found your tale of dastardly childhood deeds very entertaining. You were physically emotive with the use of body language and your vocal variety. And in the instances where you erred in your use of language, there was an instance when you said, "We start to think." You immediately corrected yourself with, "We started to think." Well caught. Your childhood lessons, specifically to vary your route, will be taken at heart, and I'm sure I'll be thinking of that for different reasons than you intended, but I will be thinking of it nevertheless. I enjoyed your tale once again. It's very well put together, very well thought out. I specifically enjoyed the instances where you dodged cars, got your feet wet in the fountain. Unfortunately, because I also, as a child in the Castro streets, did this very same thing growing up. So TM Sinville, once again, very well done. I enjoyed your tale. Thank you.
Please. Our next contestant in the evaluation contest, Jennifer Kisau.
Toastmaster Brenda, you come across to me as a born speaker. You have an excellent speaking voice, and this works very well for you. You've been able to use your voice effectively to help your audience remain captivated and buy into your message. Your topic, childhood lessons, was very well developed. You kept the audience engaged. You transitioned quite neatly, creating a setting developing the main event, and of course, living with us, your lessons learned. The injection of humor always adds perfection to a speech. Your body language spoke volumes. You were able to demonstrate to us a lot of what you brought into your speech. However, this is one area you should continue to focus upon. While you used your hands, but very often you had it down, or your gestures were not really specific. There were times when you went this way and when you went that way, but you could use your hands to demonstrate more effectively. So keep working on that aspect of your public speaking. I'm sure that the audience could vividly imagine all that you said as you painted a picture as you went along with your speech. We were able to see, we were able to visualize the way your mom prepared you and sent you to the church. We were able to share in that experience with you while there. And we were able to be put on the scene when you were out there begging. We were part of your whole speech. And this is a very positive and very promising aspect of the speaker. I am sure as we continue to hear your speeches and as you continue to develop your body language, I will say that you will have a lot going for you. And we as Toastmasters will continue to support you in your development.
Centville, childhood lessons. I loved that speech. It brought me back to my fond memories of my own childhood lessons. Though they were not like yours, but I did learn some on my own, of my own. Regarding your content, I love how you have mastered the art of using short, vivid words. I particularly liked why wait for faith itself to shine upon us? Or even, land was hatched. Love it, Toastmaster Linda. Regarding your delivery, I liked how you had good vocal variety, voice was good, pitch, tone, everything. But you did not seem to want to leave your comfort spot. When you spoke about dashing for it, you could have dashed across and used up your confidence piece. But once again, that's brought me back to my former. You should consider, though, being a contestant in the next humorous speech. I think you have what it takes to do good. Thank you.
Toastmasters Centville, this was what a speech is supposed to be. From the very beginning, you captured us. I think all Toastmasters and guests here this evening actually returned to the channel and understood, thought, went back and said, I could recall my naughty days. But Toastmasters Centville, I felt that with your speech, it was good with your body movements. But even when you illustrated being dashed, I would have liked to see a run. That would have been better. I loved when you put your hand in the ball. You shook, you said, there were calls, and persons could identify. Someone who could not hear might have seen you putting your hand up. And that is how you make your body speak. That was great. Your speech development from the beginning to the end, it showed childhood lessons. And that was your speech development. And this is something that I always say to individuals. When you're delivering a speech, always try to ensure that you stay within the title of the speech. All speakers should be able to do that. Don't come and talk about childhood lessons, and there is nothing in there about childhood lessons. As I said earlier, every single individual in here could identify to something that they did when they were a child that they could not identify. Body language was good. I loved it. Something that I wanted to note to you is that the presence and the focus, the movements. Sometimes your pauses, I don't know, sometimes you can pause and it did not go well. The pauses were a little bit too long. So when you're speaking, the pause would put me off at least as a leader. I felt that you would have shortened it a little. But as I said, Toastmasters said, this speech encompasses every single aspect of the speech. Your body language, your vocal variety, you're able to bring up your voice. Even when you gesture with your hands, your voice elevated as well. And I commend you for that. And as I said, every single individual here this afternoon must be able to identify that you touched up on every single aspect of the speech. Good work, Toastmasters.
runner-up, or the second place, the first runner-up, would, this is our humorous speech contest. Second place goes to Toastmaster Jennifer Pixel. And our winner of the humorous speech contest is Toastmaster Karen Kennedy. I first have to indicate that unfortunately there were two disqualified participants. Our third place goes to Karen Kennedy. Second place goes to Toastmaster Jennifer Pixel. Winner of our evaluation contest is none other than Toastmaster Methodius Plant. I can tell what we're doing. I'd like to thank all of the contestants this evening and everybody who had roles this evening, and especially for the courtesy shown by everybody present here this evening and the support shown to our members. There is no competition and success without support of each other, and that I think is what Toastmasters is about. I'll invite Toastmaster Bernadine to say a few words. He has been instrumental in getting this contest together.
Toastmasters and guests, it is a pleasure to speak to you this evening. After a successful contest, I believe we had a good time. I want to take this time to thank all those who participated first and foremost in the contest. Without you, as Toastmaster Glasgow said, there would be no contest. But all of you who helped, who gave a hand, thank you very much. From the timers, the counters, and the judges, you were great. For those of you who did not emerge as the winner of this contest, I urge you to strive on. I will clearly speak on this because it's a remarkable achievement. Toastmaster Kennedy came to us and she said to me, Toastmaster, but I didn't prepare one. I said, go ahead. You know your story, you know what you're going to speak about, just speak. Remember the outline, know what they're judging you on, and go out and speak. And when we speak out of this kind of passion, realize that we can surprise ourselves. So some of you who are still lingering
over preparing speeches and writing them and rewriting them and rewriting them. Stop writing and start speaking. This is your time. This is your day. The next set of speeches happens next year, but I want to see more of us get involved. Do not shy away from the opportunity to present your speech. You may just surprise yourself how good you are. For all of you who attended, welcome and come again. For our regular members, I expect to see more of you. Oh man, I will not be there. But I expect to hear that you are coming to the because I will check upon you. For some of you who have not know, who do not know, this is my last meeting, at least for the next 12 months. I'm proceeding. I will proceed to go to school. I live on Monday. But my heart is with this Toastmasters Club. And I want to know that we are doing well while in St. Lucia. I will check up on you. And once again, everybody who helped out, yes, you Alison. Thank you very much. And for the next contest, I hope that you give your contest chair just as much participation as you gave me. Thank you very much. I will, for a few short announcements, I'll hand you over to the President. She will say a few things before we conclude.
I hope you had a lovely evening, and don't forget that the club contest that we had today is only the first stage in a process to determine who will ultimately be the best humorous speakers and the best evaluators in the Caribbean Toastmasters. We've had our contest. We will next be moving on to our national contest in a couple of weeks, and then in October 16th, 17th through 19th, right here at the Rex St. Lucia, we will be having our October District Conference. And this is when Toastmasters from throughout the Caribbean are going to get together. We will have our educational sessions, and we will have the Caribbean, the regional, the district conference to determine who are the best of the best. So we will have our best from St. Lucia going up against those from Jamaica, Haiti, Trinidad and Tobago, Guyana, Grenada, Barbados, everywhere. In the meantime, everyone, while this was fun, please remember next week we are back to our regular meetings. We look forward to you presenting your speeches. Toastmaster Linda, we're looking forward to you taking part in our humorous contest next year. For those of you who were visiting with us today, we thank you for coming out, and we'd like to open the floor very briefly for any closing remarks. Are there any floor announcements or comments? Yes,
Madam.
here we go.
Thank you, Madam President. Good evening, everybody. I just want to congratulate all of you who participated in the activity there today. I want to wish Mr. Bernadine well on your studies. Just continue to work hard, and I wish you success for the next 12 months. And to all the participants, participating in a contest means you are a winner. You don't have to place first, second, or third. So I just want to encourage all of you to continue doing your speeches and to continue participating in all of the activities. The President has already announced that the conference will be held in October, but the registration forms, I trust that you have already circulated. We have been circulating for the district. So those of you who have not yet registered, you can do your part payments, as we sometimes encourage persons. Dylan is the finance chair and the conference chairperson, so we can collect part payment, and on the day or just prior to the conference, you can make the balance of your payments. So registrations forms are online and submit to the email address submitted there. So, and of course, the chairpersons in the clubs, I trust that you have been inviting members to serve, because we do need persons to assist in the various roles that we'll be having. And you saw some of the roles displayed here today: timers, counters, sergeant at arms to check the doors, sergeant at arms to distribute material during the conference, the forms, collection of forms, presenting of the presenters